there may be a reason as to why Julio Urias is struggling in his contract year. Kupp believes he'll be ready for the start of the Rams season, and Andy Enfield gives a kinda, sorta, maybe optimistic update on Bronny James. Good morning, I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos morning report. So it is August 25th, 2023. It's glorious outside. As soon as I'm done, I plan on taking in a little happiness out there. Let's start with some happiness here, talking LA sports. If you like being in the know about LA sports, clickety-clack the like button, clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And comment. There's always good stuff to talk about LA sports. Always. So before we go through the news and notes and look at the scoreboard, the Dodgers played twice yesterday. One was a continuation of a suspended game from the day before. Game one of this so-called doubleheader. Dodgers 6, Cleveland 1. Mookie Betts collected 5 base hits and a couple of RBIs. Then they come back a few minutes later, mollywop the Guardians all over again, 9-3. Michael Busch hits his first major league home run in said mollywhopping. The Dodgers have a 12-game lead in the NL West. Meanwhile today, pretty good slate. The Dodgers are in Boston at 4 o'clock. Lance Lynn is 3-0 with a 1.44 ERA. And he's going against Cutter Crawford, 6-6 with a 3.66 ERA. And I'm sure he's a nice guy. But Cutter Crawford? Cutter with a K? Dude, you literally sound like a 1930s mobster, right? When Elliot Ness arrested Cutter Crawford, he knew the Untouchables had the inside dope to finally put the rap on One Nipple Vinny. What are we talking about? Cutter Crawford. Cutter. Yes, I know it's Mookie Betts' return to Boston, and that's pretty cool. And I should be talking about that. But Cutter Crawford, like I said, I'm sure he's a nice guy. Cutter Crawford. The Chargers are playing in San Francisco at 7. That's going to be the preseason finale for both teams. And the Sparks are in Atlanta at 5. The Sparks have the last playoff spot currently in the WNBA. But they could reach number 7 in the playoff rankings with a win tonight. You might find this hard to believe, but people have noticed just how much Julio Urias has stunk up the joint in the early part of the season. You know, just a little snippet of the year. Like from the World Baseball Classic all the way up to the All-Star break. Just a tidbit, a moment in time, if you will. Well, anyway, CBSSports.com says there is real reason to be concerned about him in his upcoming free agency. The writer believes that Julio Urias has lost velocity. And this is troubling considering he's only 27 years old. And losing arm strength? In other words, when you lose velocity, there is a very minimal difference now between Julio Urias' fastball and Julio Urias' changeup. If it doesn't look different to the batter can time it, send it a country mile. That's their belief. Also with the Dodgers, reliever Blake Trinan is now rehabbing with AAA Oklahoma City. That is on pace for the 10-month recovery time frame from shoulder surgery. Don't get your hopes too high, though. Dave Roberts says Trinan is a long shot to return this year. Speaking of injured pitchers who are not in Dodger blue yet, ESPN is reporting that Shohei Ohtani will hit for the Angels for the rest of the year. He will play DH. Now, this is an extremely controversial call, frankly, because Ohtani will need surgery to repair that torn ulnar collateral ligament. Torn ligaments don't repair themselves with bed rest, guys. And so yesterday we talked about what would happen in the worst case scenario. We don't know if he needs Tommy John surgery, but just in case he might, if he wants to hit and only hit, he could theoretically recover in 6 months. Pitching, it's a calendar year before you even start to think about it. So say he needs Tommy John surgery, and he literally has it the day after the end of the regular season, if the Angels don't qualify for the playoffs, which is probable. Do the math. even if he is only a hitter, he will not be ready to go in the best case scenario for opening day. He won't. And yet, can you imagine the Angels' position as well? Because if you have Shohei Ohtani on the bench and you already have Mike Trout injured, your chances of qualifying for the playoffs are zero. So I see everybody's side on this. This is an extremely controversial call. And by the way, as for Ohtani, if you might have to avoid major surgery or put it off for a couple of weeks, would you? There's a lot of patients out there who would. Trust me, I work in healthcare now. I know these things. I have a friend who still lives in LA, comic, Chris Adams, good dude. One of his hobbies is to take pictures of street art as he walks around Hollywood in the morning and whatnot. So when I tell you this story, I don't want to sound like a Fox News host, right? Oh my God, it's vandalism. Damn you, Kamala. I don't want to go there. You know, oh, this is all the fault of... I don't want to go there. But once a mural, an actual mural goes up on a wall, I say you got to find another spot to paint. Don't deface what's already been gussied up, right? I bring this up because a couple of months ago, somebody defaced a mural of Vin Scully on Melrose, which to me, blasphemy. You don't paint over Vin Scully. Anyway, the building owner, took a couple of months, but the building owner fixed things up, and he has a message for the painter who did it. He's not even mad at you for trying to do street art. Just please do it on another wall. Now, keep in mind, somebody who probably defaces Vin Scully is illiterate and is probably not reading stories like this on the internet. Hopefully one way it'll go on a different wall next time. Because if it doesn't, I recommend executing that heretic. Don't deface Vin Scully, period. Cooper Kupp believes he will be good to go for the Rams in Week 1. The MVP of Super Bowl 56 has been sidelined since August 1st with a hamstring issue. He is not playing in the Rams preseason finale this weekend against Denver, but he has been participating in joint practices. And actually, they're still treating him as the number one receiver. He's lining up against the Broncos' best cornerback, Patrick Surtain. Reporters there have said that the battle has been a lot of fun to watch. And considering how nobody thinks that the Broncos can score, you got to look for your fun watching Broncos football wherever you can. So there's that. I run a search for Rams news every day while preparing this program. Came across this article, but it wasn't from LA. It was from the Courier-Journal out in Kentucky. Headline, why Liam Cohen picked college football over the NFL, unquote. You don't need a 30-column-inch story to try to claim that Liam Cohen picked college football over the NFL. I can tell it to you in 30 seconds or less. He sucked with the Rams. If he didn't suck with the Rams, if he didn't choose college football, Sean McVay would have fired his ass. So then it doesn't become choosing college football, it becomes desperately searching for a job. Let's not hype this guy up and say that he decided to leave his dreams to pursue the down-home bluegrass state of Kentucky. He sucked in LA. Absolutely just a garbage fire. That's why he's back with the Wildcats. He wasn't ready or good enough. Chose college football over the NFL. The NFL was kicking his ass out the door. USC basketball coach Andy Enfield says he is hopeful that Bronny James can play for the Trojans this season. Now look, that is a very bland update. And I respect you guys enough to let you know that is a bland update. But it's the only one I can find. Now there are bloggers online who are reading into that quote way too much. They are saying that Andy Enfield is predicting Bronny James will return in the middle of the season. Enfield did not say any such thing. He didn't give a timeline of any sort. He is hopeful Bronny James will play at some point during the year. He did not mention a time frame. He did not mention a month. An NBA scribe is asking if the Clippers title window has already closed. Now, of course, this scribe, Vincent Goodwill, doesn't answer the question, nor did he ask any GMs or coaches if the Clippers are in fact toast. So, thanks for nothing, Vinny. Well done. No rationale, just pulled something out of your booty and splattered it on the internet. Well done. But it did make me wonder, because it makes me wonder often, actually. In retrospect, do you make the Paul George trade? Granted, Kawhi Leonard wanted George to seal the deal for coming to the Clippers in the first place back in 2019. But how hard did the Clippers sell Leonard on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? Because Gilgeous-Alexander is tearing it up in Oklahoma City. And he's significantly younger. And he's not injury prone. Because of those reasons, you could actually argue you'd put him a little higher than Paul George now. Gilgeous-Alexander is a beast. And he was a Clipper. Dylan Brooks is the Black Knight. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Monty Python and the Holy Grail, but it's this goofy comedy. It spoofs like Camelot, knights, kings, things like that. So in this movie, the protagonists happen upon an enemy who wears black armor, a black knight. So they draw their swords and they dismember the dude until he's nothing but a stump and a head. And the Black Knight is still talking trash with every limb that gets sawed off. That is former Memphis Grizzlies thug Dylan Brooks. Because Dylan Brooks got ran out of Memphis for all the trash he keeps talking about LeBron James. And oh, by the way, he hasn't stopped. He still hasn't shut up yet. Quote, I always felt like I had him. I feel like that series was thrown upon me because of the words that I say. I've been saying things all year and we won 50 games. Well, Brooks, the Black Knight, you're in Houston now and all that trash talk's not going to win you 25 games. So there's that. The Memphis Grizzlies did not win 50 games because you like to talk trash. You got eliminated because you like to talk trash. You did not win 50 games because you like to talk trash. There's a difference. Finally, the Chargers will retire 2 players during their season opener, Charlie Joyner and Kellen Winslow of the Air Coryell era. They'll get their numbers retired in Los Angeles, which is hilarious because, of course, they were the San Diego Chargers, and the San Diego Chargers hated Los Angeles with a blinding intensity. So there's that. I also have one other thing I want to get out of my system for you. Last year, during football season, we did previews of all the games for the Rams, the Chargers, SC, UCLA. Also did recaps to try to get some extra content out there. And honestly, it didn't resonate as much doing that many different tapes. So what I do want to do is consolidate to try to give you guys, because we all love talking football, we're going to start later today with a preview of USC. I don't know what I'm calling it yet because it's all relatively last minute, but every week and at the end of every week, we are going to do a recap of every regular season and postseason game for UCLA, USC, the Rams, and Chargers. We'll start later today because USC is kicking off its regular season tomorrow against San Jose State. So by all means, tune in then where we try to break down that game. And you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Talk to me about Julio Urias and if he is in fact losing money because of lost velocity. Talk to me about Kupp, or hell, Dylan Brooks. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports every single day here. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow, and tonight, by the way, with a USC preview. Faithful Angelenos is a Keon Corte El Queso production. Take care.